Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is my final replay video from patch 9.17.1 featuring my old mate Von the Burglar from 1AR clan in his tier 9 American Artillery piece, the M53, M55, and as you can tell, because it's still patch 9.17, is in a platoon, and you can still create platoons in artilleries in patch 9.17. One of the big differences in patch 9.18 is artilleries are no longer allowed to platoon with other tanks, and you can see there he's got two beautiful marks of excellence on the gun barrel of his trusty American Artillery, the M53, M55. It's a tank that I've purchased not so long ago, and it's pretty good for an artillery piece. He's platooned up with his old mate Icarus M, also from 1AR. Icarus is in the Conway, the tier 9 British tank destroyer. A tank that I really struggled with, but I'm sure Icarus probably does a little bit better than me. Icarus puts in the chat what the hell is going on. Have a look at the mini-map. I'll make it a little bit bigger. You can see the E100, the M103 and the T57 all pushing north, which is unusual to say the least on Fjords. They're down by a tank. They've lost the T49, but they've come back. The other M53, M55 has obviously done a bit of counter battery, gotten rid of the enemy artillery piece, which is pretty handy, so Von doesn't have to worry about one of the enemy artillery pieces shooting him. But of course there's three M53, M55s on the enemy side as his gun reloads, and he aims towards the middle of the map, hoping that Object 140 is going to spot something for him. The T54 lightweight doesn't look like it's really going to spot anything where he is, but you never know. Von the Burglar relocating after each shot, because you never know. There's two other artilleries. One of them's dead, but there's two others who may be looking his way, and you can see Von the Burglar using the Battle Assistant mod to see a different point of view towards the enemy tanks. He hasn't been lucky to hit any shots yet, not that we've seen anyway. There might have been one of those blind shots might have landed, but we're not quite sure, as he has a look at that IS4 who just goes unlit as the gun loads, which sod's law, that's what's going to happen. He blind shots towards the tier 10 Russian heavy tank, the IS4. Now that IS4 is platooned up with the E100, and you can see the E100 and the E75 down here, and that's the way Von's looking now. You can see that Object 430 is going to be in a world of trouble if those heavy tanks push on him, which it looks like they're thinking about doing. The E100 down to 63 health, and that's what Von's going to focus on, because that's the tank that's really pushing towards that tier 10 Russian medium tank. It doesn't look like he's done any damage yet, but you never know. As the gun loads, he picks up his first kill, getting rid of the tier 10 German heavy tank. He was only on low health, but you've got to get rid of those top tier tanks as soon as you can, as he relocates again, which is exactly the right thing to do in any artillery, especially when there are still enemy artilleries in the game. Looking at the mini-map now, you can see a lot of action happening up in the north. The E100, the T57 goes down, M103 and a Leopard prototype A. All those tanks that pushed north, I don't know, did they come back or did they die? We know at least a couple of them died. 3 tanks are dead so far. I don't know what happened there. Von the Burglar putting a ripper of a shot into the centre of where those enemy tanks were seen, and of course that Leopard was not lit when he died, but it looks like maybe Von the Burglar could tell that he maybe wasn't moving around too much, and he thought, I'll take a punt here, I like my chances here. This big old-fashioned American gun should do the job. And as he's looking at that IS4, that IS4 is looking like a pretty good target. There as we zoom in, he aims in on, he's only on 13 hit points, but that should do the job. It does. He picks up his third kill of the game, 3 kills to Von the Burglar. His damage tracker's only saying 13 hit points, but of course at least 2 of those shots, 2 of those kill shots, the enemy tank was unspotted. No idea what kind of health the Leopard 1 was on. Of course it's not known for its armour, the tier 10 German medium tank, the Leopard 1, so he could have been on pretty high health, and Von could have had a pretty high roll against the German medium tank. 4-5's the score. Von the Burglar has picked up 3 kills, shoots towards those houses. No idea if anything got hit there. There was a T54 lightweight in that vicinity, or there might have been even a waffen Waffenträger Panzer IV, the Tier 9 German tank destroyer, as von der Burglar moves around again. You can see he's firing high explosive rounds from the American Tier 9 artillery piece. 102 penetration, 1850 hit points of damage. If it pens, of course, it is high explosive, so sometimes you're not going to get 1850 damage if you land a shot with this big high caliber gun. What is it? 203 millimeters, and of course there's also armor piercing rounds which have a lot more penetration, 241, but do a bit less damage, 1450. But of course with the armor piercing rounds you risk bouncing these enemy tanks, which when you're on such a long reload, sometimes high explosives are the way to go, I guess. 4-5's the score. Von der Burglar's picked up 3 kills. I've seen Icarus do some damage in his convoy. Von fires blindly towards the central northern part of the map, hoping for a lucky shot. You can see he's also running Coca-Cola in the artillery piece, which of course that helps greatly. That helps with the aim time, the reload time, and all those other statistics of a tank. He spots a T-54 lightweight, decides to have a bit of a closer look at him. He is hidden quite well behind that rock. Changes his mind, looks at the T-57 heavy tank. His gun's just about loaded. Aims in, only on 91 health, but we'll take kill number 4, says von der Burglar. 5-all the score. That's I think it's the first time that the scores have been even for some amount of time, as he has a look at that T-54 lightweight again, as he briefly goes out of view. But patience is a virtue, especially when you're in an artillery. Spots the AMX 1390, still a Tier 8 because it's patch 9.17, the Tier 8 auto-loading French light tank. And now he's got good map awareness here. He's seen the Waffenträger Panzer IV. That's the one he wants to get rid of. You want to get rid of those big guns as soon as you can. He's behind a rock, but he's not that well hidden. And I reckon Von fancies himself here. He's pulling back. Is he going to poke out behind that rock? Waits patiently, fires towards the Tier 9 German tank destroyer. No idea how much damage that did, but I reckon he would have at least splashed the Waffenträger Panzer IV, the Tier 9 German tank destroyer. Of course, it's not known for its armour. That mouse is, though. The grill picks up a kill on the T-54 lightweight. One starts aiming towards that grill. He knows the Waffenträger's there as well, and he's hoping for a 5th kill pretty soon. T-54 lightweight makes an appearance, and look at the mini-map. These tanks are absolutely all over the place. There's 3 artilleries on Von's side, just 2 left on the enemy side. Is he going to go for that RU? Maybe. He fires. Not sure if he got that, because again, the tank disappeared. That Object 430 doing a brilliant job in the central southern part, keeping these tanks lit up for 3 artilleries, as well as the M103, who's now sniping at the back. Probably because he's on double digit health though, but the Object 430 goes down to the enemy artillery. And no one left to spot that southern central part of Fjords, as von der Burglar fires blindly towards where the mouse and that AMX 1390 were last seen. Relocates again. They'll be talking on TeamSpeak, these blokes, and they'll be saying, what are we going to do here? 5-8's the score. Von der Burglar's picked up 4 kills. We know Icarus has done some damage, but looking at where the friendly tanks are, all down the 9-0 line, nobody really getting any vision at all. That Leopard, not sure what kind of health this Leopard's on. I'll just go and have a look at him. He's on full health, so you'd think if he wants to have a red hot go. It's a Leopard PTA, so it's a Tier 9, but he's still on full health. You'd think he'd be trying to get some vision on these enemy tanks. Even maybe that he's going to try and do it from back here. He doesn't need to go full YOLO into these tanks, but he needs to try and light something up. Artillery fires blindly towards all 3 of Icarus's artillery pieces. The T-92 and the other M53, M55 get taken down. And it looks like an artillery shell went not so far from where von der Burglar was, but doesn't manage to land the shot. Icarus picks up the kill on the T-54 lightweight, as von der Burglar is looking at the back of this heavily armoured mouse Looks like the mouse is aiming towards the M103 or maybe Icarus. He's hoping that gun reloads as quick as possible. The side shot would be nice. Unlucky, only gets him for 120 health into the heavily armoured Tier 10 mouse. Of course, the mouse of late has been one of the go-to tanks for Tier 10 clan wars. Icarus goes down, gets taken out by the said mouse. The M103 and the Leopard both providing a little bit of vision on the Tier 10 heavy German tank. Looks like the STRV 103B might be in a bit of trouble up in the north with the FV 215B 183 giving him a little bit of grief. Von the Burglar pulls back, aims towards the grill. This might be enough. It does. He one-shots him for 1,131 hit points. That's the first high damage roll we've seen, because of course some of the tanks that Von the Burglar has been shooting at have been invisible when he's got them, like the Leopard, and of course the Leopard, and who else was it? There was another one, I'm sure. Maybe one of the light tanks. Or the Ru251. Von the Burglar is on 5 kills now. He's just reloaded, and he'll be hoping this shot does a bit more than before. Only gets him for 169 health into the back of the mouse. Of course, that's the risk you take with high explosive ammunition in an artillery piece. Doesn't relocate, and he cops a little bit of splash damage from the enemy M53, M55. Just for 239, and obviously it takes his tracks off as well. Mouse puts a shot into the Leopard, and Von the Burglar, who would dearly love to put a big American shell into the mouse. Somebody lights the enemy M53, M55. It could be Von himself. I'm not really sure, but he's got to continue to support that Leopard PTA. Puts another shell into the back of the mouse. Takes him down to 56 hit points. That was 554 damage on that occasion, and the Leopard PTA does the right thing and picks up the kill on the Tier 10 heavily armoured German heavy tank, and that brings the score back to 11-12. There's bit over 2.5 minutes left in this game. Von the Burglar, he's only got 1 high explosive shell left and 2 armour piercing rounds. He's on 5 kills. He's on 2,000 damage. That we've seen. What's left on the enemy side? There's an E75, the Waffenträger Aufpanzer IV, and 2 M53 M55s on Fjords. We know one of the American Artillery has moved right up into these southern buildings. The Leopard still doesn't want to be the first one to move on the dance floor. There's the other enemy artillery piece spotted by the Stritzwagen 103B. Looks like the Stritzwagen's put a shot into the Tier 9 American Arty, and he's also picked up the kill, doing exactly the right thing up there in the northeast corner. Only 1 enemy artillery left, and that's the M53, M55, the other M53, M55. There's heaps of them in this game. And he was last spotted down here. The E75 was last spotted down on the peninsula, and this Waffenträger Aufpanzer IV hasn't been seen for some time. There he is. I'm not sure who spotted him then, if it was the Leopard or if it was Von the Burglar. I suspect it's the Leopard. And it looks like Von's gone into shotgun mode. As we have a look around, the Leopard does a good job getting rid of the Waffenträger Aufpanzer IV. Von the Burglar shotgun then the M53, M55 on the enemy side. And that's for the first time they're up in this game. They're winning 14-12, just 1 tank left, and that's the E75. And with a minute to go, the Leopard PTA and the Stritzwagen are heading straight to where he was last seen, or are they going to go straight for the cap? I don't think they've got time to cap this. So you can see Von the Burglar is moving around, trying to make sure he can assist his team. He's aiming at where the E75 was last spotted. Doesn't look like they're going for there. Maybe the Leopard's going to try and flank him, and the Stritzwagen, don't know what the Stritzwagen's going to do. 30 seconds to go. This would be terrible if it ended in a draw. It's a massive comeback from Von the Burglar and his team. So Leopard PTA not stuffing around, going straight to where that Tier 9 German heavy tank was last seen. OEO, that's an unusual name. And there he is. Of course, Von's got no shot. Leopard puts a shell in. He'll be hoping that Stritzwagen can come and help. Got some Good view from Von the Burglar, but unfortunately no shot. 315 damage left. 4 seconds. 2. They need to shoot him. One more shot. Stritchfagan does it just in time, and in the end they turn around what was looking a little bit dicey, but they turned it around and they absolutely smashed it. Or didn't absolutely smash it. They got it back from got the clutch victory from the jaws of defeat, if you like. Have a look at that. Today's Tanker Mastery Badge for Von the Burglar from 1AR Clan. The Bruiser Medal, the Gauze Medal for doing at least 10 times his hit points on the enemy, onto the enemy team. The Top Gun for picking up the 6 kills, and the High Caliber. And let's have a look at exactly how much damage he did. 6,040 hit points of damage, 6 kills, 1,506 base experience for Von the Burglar. And of course, all those blind shots paid off. The in-game damage counter, I think, showed about 2,500 hit points of damage at the end. But those blind shots into the tanks that he killed and damaged with when they went unspotted, if you like, added up to 6,040, which was an absolute ripper. He fired 18 shots, 7 hit, 7 penetrated, 6 did splash damage. And that was enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge on Fjords. Cost him some credits. That tells me that it's pretty much all gold ammunition fired in the M53, M55. And the game went for exactly 15 minutes. A pretty good comeback from Von the Burglar and his teammates on Fjords as we move on to the second game in this triple shot of patch 9.17.1 action. Now, they're all going to be 3 different kinds of tanks, and this is no exception because it's a bit of a cleanup of what's left on my folder for these replays. This is Subzero from Screw Clan, and he's running around in the British tank destroyer, the Achilles. Now, this game won't go for the full 15 minutes, I guarantee you that. This is going to be fast-paced action on Ensk as he moves forward. He's in a tier 8 battle, so he needs to be a little bit conservative. Of course, the Achilles, not known for its armour. He's running binoculars and a camouflage net, which isn't not necessarily a bad choice for the Achilles. Spots out the enemy artillery, the M41 HMC, the tier 5, and 2 shots is enough to pick up his first kill on Ants, getting rid of a tier 5 artillery. Tier 5 artillery in a tier 10 game, that's because he's platooned up with the T-37. And that's one of the things that patch 9.18 is addressing. You just can't do that. The game doesn't let you do that anymore. Subzero, not yet spotted, or unless he hasn't got sixth sense, but he's just chipping away at those enemy tanks. He'll be hoping that AMX 1375 moves a little bit forward past that building. He got a shot into the Scorpion and the T-37 in that little skirmish, and there's just misses that shot. He'll be looking at that AMX. That'll be a nice little target. He picks up his second kill, killing 2 tier 5s in quick succession. 3 2s to score as he looks towards the Scorpion G. Scorpion G not silly enough to go past that building. Looking at the mini-map, a lot of enemy tanks down there, and that's who Subzero's trying to support, because he doesn't want to go in there and brawl, but if they're going to present their sides through this gap between the buildings, then Subzero's going to make the most of it and absolutely smash the damage. No need for him really to go forward at this stage. 5 3s to score. He's done 662 damage, and you'll just be hoping that T-37 just comes back a little bit further. He's just teasing him, just keeping him interested. $662 damage on X, 2 kills. He's got the kill on the AMX ELC and the M41 HMC, 2 tier 5s in this mismatch. And he's chipping away nicely at that Scorpion G, the top tier, tier 8 German premium tank destroyer. His teammates are dying though, but he's still up by 2 tanks, 6 to 4. Now you'd imagine that pilot would see Subzero in his Achilles, where he is there, turns his turret around. He wants to get some damage into the T-37, and of course it's a low alpha high rate of fire gun on the Achilles. He bounces a shot from the American light tank. Now tells me he hasn't got 6th sense, which is always challenging in a lightly armoured tank, because that T-37 certainly spotted him there as Subzero goes round to try him. Take the tier 6 out of the game, also pokes around, sees what's out, sees what else is around the corner. The T-25 Pilot 1 gets rid of the pesky little T-37, and on full health, on 640 hit points, Subzero's decided now it's time to go in and try and get some more damage into this southwestern skirmish on Ants. Type 58 would be a nice target. He's only on 94 health, but he's not presenting himself. Subzero tentatively going around the corner, takes a shot and misses at the IS, but the T25 pilot having a great game. Picks up another kill, and that Scorpion G is a very fine scalp to get when you're in a tier 6 tank destroyer. He gets rid of that one. Gets rid of the Type 58 as well. That's 4 kills for Subzero in this tier 8 game. And now it's just a case of seeing who can get to these enemy tanks first as they move around. It's the AT-15. Plenty of armour on the front, but not much armour on the side. He shoots and tracks the tier 8 British tank destroyer. Shoots him again. Chips away. Not greedy, just taking 120 odd hit points at a time. And now it's time to move in. There's only 3 enemy tanks left. Make that 2. One more kill. Thank you. That's 5 kills for Subzero. He would dearly love a top gun, and he's not stuffing around. He's heading straight to where he thinks the artillery is. He's behind a house. Can he get a top gun out of this? Somebody shoots him down to 199. The T25 pilot one steals the kill. He would have dearly loved a top gun there, but he can be proud of his efforts on Ensk. It's a Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. 5 kills in a Tier 8 battle, which is no mean feat at all. Tier 8 battle can be a little bit challenging when you're in a Tier 6 tank destroyer, but Subzero's picked himself up a quick Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, a Bruiser, Fighter, Fire for Effects, and believe it or not, he got top score with 1219 base experience, 2023 hit points of damage for his 5 kills. Only one other player did more than 2,000 damage, and that was the Super Pershing at Tier 8. But the Achilles at Tier 6, showing that it can be a pretty powerful little high rate of fire, low alpha gun, even in a Tier 8 game in the right hands. 12,500 credits after tax with a premium account. Game only went for 4.5 minutes, but we'll take that Ace Tanker Mastery Badge result any day of the week. Game number 3. This is the third and final replay in this video, and the final replay from patch 9.17.1, which I'm really getting sick of saying in these videos, but so from here on in it's going to be all 918 replays. This is no stranger to this channel. It's the Flying Elite from Pyro Clan, and he's running around in his Tier 8 German light tank, the Ru251, before it gets promoted to Tier 9 on Stalingrad. Flying Elite on Stalingrad, not stuffing around. Looks like he's going straight up the guts of the straight up the guts of the map. Try and get some lights for his team, some spots for his team. Looks like he's lit the Tiger 2. 6 heads hasn't gone off, so he doesn't think he's been spotted yet. Just pauses briefly.
Target acquired.
Auto aims at the 1390, shoots and misses. Doing a few handbrakey turns, which we love handbrake turns, especially in light tanks. Just doing a little bit of a cheeky peekaboo at the where the enemy tanks are. Has a look at that WZ132. The Chinese light tank shoots at him, misses. The 1390 hits him though, gets a little bit of assisted damage onto the Chinese Tier 8 tank. Of course, that WZ132 stays at Tier 8. I reckon that's a tank we're going to see a little bit more of in Tier 8 clan wars and skirmishes and strongholds, advances, all that kind of stuff. 0 all the score. The M41 Walker Bulldog goes down to the Scorpion G. Flying Elite puts another shot into the WZ132, using his quick rate of fire to take advantage. Just low rolls for 99 hit points. That's with high explosives, firing high explosives. Picks up the kill for 255. Of course, high explosive rounds, which he no longer has any, can do up to 320 damage per shot. Their standard is 240. With 250 pen for heat rounds, which is premium, 190 for standard. Now that might change as a Flying Elite bounces the FV215B, starts looking at the Tiger, gets a shot into the Tier 8 German heavy tank, cops a shot in return. He knows he's going to beat him on the reload. He wants to back up this T95. He's going to hope the T95 puts a big shell into the Tier 8. Looks like he does, and the grill picks up the kill. 6-1 the score on Stalingrad as the Flying Elite keeps moving forward. He's on about half health, 636 hit points. He's picked up 1,592 damage and a little bit of assisted and a kill. He got the kill on that WZ early on. He's playing peekaboo with that Batchat 25 TAP, the baby Batchat. Fires clutch and makes it land. And look, mate, looks like he's not looking his way, so he continues to aim and shoot, but he gets killed just before the Flying Elite can pull the trigger. 8-3 the score, 1,831 hit points of damage so far. They're up by 5 tanks, so it's an all-in brawl now. Everyone's going all in. This is the bit where everybody likes to farm as much damage as they can towards the end of the match when they think it's already won. But that's not over until the fat lady sings. 8-3 is a handy lead, but it's far from over. Auto aims at the WT Aufpanzer 4, the Tier 9 German tank destroyer, lightly armoured. It'd be a very nice thing to hit. Lands a shot through those gaps. Look at that! Look at those gaps in the buildings. That's where he's just farming damage. Gets another shot into the tank destroyer. The tank destroyer doesn't know where to aim. I don't know how he didn't shoot the T-62A, but you'll take every shot of damage. He's done 2,725 hit points of damage so far. 11-4 the score now as a couple more tanks get taken out on the other side of the map. The Flying Elite, still on over half health, is going straight through the guts to get some more of this damage. There looks like there's a low health FV215B 183. There's also a low health grill there, and that grill would be a one shot for the Flying Elite. Takes a bit of a shortcut through the buildings, trying to flank these tanks. Knows he's having a good game. He doesn't want to stuff it up. He wants to get some more damage. There's the 215B Death Star. Puts a shot into him. Pulls back. Doesn't risk taking a second shot. Of course, that Death Star could one-shot him quite easily. Grill is a one-shot as well. He's up to nearly 3,000 damage. Shoots and bounces the VK4502B. 12-5 the score. Puts a shot into him for 300. That's a nice handy shot using heat rounds. And one in the side. Did go through that one in the side. I didn't think it did. Another one in the top of the turret. Your beauty, 3,756 damage, and of course that VK is just trying to make some evasive manoeuvres, as the T25 Pilot 1 says. Thank you very much. 14-5 the score now. That grill will be wishing he played a different game, because the Flying Elite's got him for his second kill. Only 2 kills, but over 4,000 damage in the final replay from patch 9.17.1. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for the Flying Elite in the Sparpanzer Ru251 before it got promoted to Tier 9. The Bruiser and the Fire for Effect Medal. And have a look at that damage. 4,143 hit points of damage for his 2 kills. T95 and the T62A both cracked 3,000 hit points of damage, but nobody else really managed to stand out from the crowd. I felt a little bit sorry for this grill doing 4,047 damage, but wasn't enough on that occasion. Cost him some credits because there was a fair amount of heat rounds fired, especially towards the end on that big German heavy tank. But there you go. The final 3 videos from patch 9.17. Von the Burglar in the M53, M55. Subzero in the Achilles, and the Flying Elite in the Ru251. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.